Hey everyone, hope you have a great holiday and are continuing to have a great holiday if you're watching this live. Um, but welcome back. My name's Mike, and this is my channel, Habitual Finance, where we talk about finances and mindset and all that good stuff. So, 'tis the season to talk about money spending on gifts and how to recoup from that and continue to save in the new year. Because I'm sure one of everyone's New Year's resolutions is going to be to save more money, maybe you start investing, something like that. So that's a couple of the things I want to get into today. First, to start out, I know that, including myself, there's been a lot of money spent on gifts this season, as every season. But I want you to think about the money you spent on those gifts. How did you pay for it? And did you realize what you were doing? Especially if you were paying with a credit card. I still pay with credit cards sometimes, but I only have one credit card, just one, and that's it. And I don't have any store cards. You get these 2% back if you do this and that. If you open up this card and that card, don't bother. You are going to totally ruin and confuse everything. It's not worth it. Never is it worth it. I don't care what anyone says. It's just, I don't care how organized you may be, it's just not worth your time. Just get one credit card, if that. Maybe even none. You can do all cash. That's even better. But, when you're buying these gifts and you're swiping cards, you just don't feel it. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, this is, I got to get a gift for my mom or my grandma or brother, whatever. So this is what I'm going to get them. And I'll just swipe. And then the end of the month comes and you look at your bill and you're like, oh my God. And maybe you can pay it off. But did you spend more money than you made that month? That's something you should take into consideration. What's your net for that month? Even if it is just 1 month that you net negative, that's not good. Even if it is Christmas, like, oh, I got to give gifts. It's like, well, maybe do some homemade stuff, or maybe tone down your gift ideas a little bit. You don't have to go over budget for gifts for people, especially for your family. They're your family. They just want to see you. They don't want these extravagant gifts, hopefully. But yeah, I mean, a great way if you're that kind of person and you're looking to stop that, or at least, feel the burn a little bit. Take out cash and pay with cash instead. You go up to the register, they'll be like, "Oh, your total is $150," and when you swipe a credit card, you just you swipe it. That's it. You're done. When you're taking out cash, you're like, okay, flipping out those bills, and you're like, oh wow, this is a lot of money. Set a budget for yourself. Take out, $200-$300 and be like, okay, this is my gift buying budget for the family, and try to stick with it and see how make a game out of it. Even that's what I do sometimes, and just see how close you can get to sticking with it. It's all within your means. Just stay within your means. So back to the credit card. Again, there's so many people who have even more than one credit card too, which I think is insane personally. I only have one credit card, and I do that on purpose, and I will never have another one because it's not worth it. You can get a card for all these department stores and gas stations and this and that and whatever, and it's just, now you have all these extra bills that come every random part of the month, and you're paying the minimum because you realize, oh, I racked up too much credit card debt, and they're making so much money off you with all that interest. It turns out that your $30 pair of jeans turned into a $70 pair of jeans because you couldn't pay it off in one shot because you have so many credit cards and the interest racked up by the time you paid it off. It's crazy. You start really start thinking about something like that. So anyway, that was more of a couple tips on gift spending, and how to maybe be more conscious of what you're doing. And not even during Christmas time. Try to do that all year. Start small. Don't make a big jump into like, okay, I'm doing all cash right now. It'll be annoying, especially if you're a habitual credit card spender. But start slowly closing credit cards. If you've got one for this store, pay it off. Because I'm sure that sometimes if it's just for a department store, the balance on it can't be too much. So pay it off, and then be done with it. Close it. yes, closing credit cards is also can, give you a hit to your credit score, but just close it. Close it, cut it up, be done with it. You'll take a small hit, but then continue to be paying them off and close them, because when you're paying off your other credit cards, you're going to get that credit back and then some, as long as you do it on time. And then work yourself down to just one credit card. And hey, if you work yourself down to no credit cards, that's even better, because you really don't even need credit, contrary to what most people make you think. But anyway, so after you work yourself down to that, now everything is just much easier. It's all in one spot. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about, oh, did I pay this one, that one? You don't have to call them up and be like, hey, can you withdraw this late fee for me, please? And it's not worth it. It's headache that you don't want. So moving on to New Year's is coming up, if you're watching this at the time of my posting. And everyone's got their New Year's resolutions, whether it's, fitness goals, work goals, this and that. But what I'm going to talk about here is financial goals. And the biggest one is saving more money. I'm sure many of you, if you're watching my video, you have an interest in finance, and maybe you also have an interest in reading. So if you've read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which most people have, I highly recommend it if you have not. One of the methodologies that he talks about in that book is to pay yourself first. So this is something I read that book probably 3 years ago now, and I've been paying myself first ever since then. Every month, and then every year when I get a raise at work. Now, not everybody gets a raise at work, and if not, then try to instead take what I'm about to say and start saving. At the end of the year, take like $50 or $100 and start saving it or something. But you'll see what I'm talking about in a few minutes. So, for example, me this year, I got a raise at the end of the year, and let's just say it is each paycheck, I get paid bi-weekly, each paycheck I'll have an extra $150. So I will take that $150 and pay myself first with it. So you're thinking to yourself, well, you're getting paid more. Why don't you just keep that in your paycheck and then you could pay things off quicker? It's like, but what are you trying to pay off quicker? You've lived that whole past year on your old salary, and now you're getting $150 more in this paycheck, and you're just going to keep it? And you know what happened? Everyone says it. The more you make, the more you spend. And that is so true. That's a trap I fell into the first year of work, my first raise. I fell right into it. But ever since then, my paycheck has not changed. I started with small goals with upping. I wanted my 401k. Before my employer match, I wanted to put in per year at least $14,000. And 3 years ago is when I set out to start that goal. So I've been saving my raise ever since then. Or any bonuses you get, throw in there. Or, whatever else. If you don't get a raise at the end of the year, be like, okay, I can cut this. I don't have to pay for this subscription anymore. I'm going to stop watching TV because I'm going to stop watching, some TV subscription because it's junk anyway. So then you take that, $20, $30 a month or whatever, and you watch where that money goes. You save it instead. You pay yourself first. So then you're going to have such an easier life later on if you do, habitual things like this. So now what I did 3 years ago is I started, I got my raise, and say it was $100 per paycheck. So that I upped the percentage that goes in my 401k that year. I do it every year, and until I hit my goal. And it went up a little bit. And then next year I did the same thing. And then the next year I did the same thing. So my paycheck has not changed. It's always looked the same because I've automatically put it into my 401k. So my percentage has increased, and now before this year, last year I hit my goal, $14,000 before my employer match being put into my 401k. Because I know at this point I'll be good. This is plenty of money to, even before I'm 59 and a half years old to retire. But then as my raises increase as the years go on, that percentage is going to increase. Just, you get paid $50,000 one year. Next year, you're going to get paid $55,000. That 10% you're putting in is increased, increased by $500 that year. Just like that. So you don't, once you hit that certain percentage, do your math. I can even post something. I can even make a chart if you guys would like on showing what how the percentage grows. So you don't, because there's going to be a time when you hit that $19,000 maximum for the year and you're just throwing money away. You're either missing out on your employee match, because remember, you don't get that employee match all in January. It goes from January to December, and if you hit 19,000 in November, you're missing out on that employee match. Yeah, you maxed it out, but you're using more of your dollars. You want to use as much of your company's dollars as you can. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So now I'm doing the same thing again this year. This year I passed a huge test for an engineer, the PE exam, and on top of that I got a good raise. So that money is again going to, I have a house, so to make it a little bit easier, say I'm getting $250 each paycheck. $50 will stay in my paycheck and increase my bi-weekly pay. But the $200, I'm starting a Roth IRA. My fiance and I were starting a Roth IRA. I know you can't have joint account Roth IRAs, but it's for both of us. So that $200 is going right into there. And you can put in $6,000 each year, I believe, for my age. And that will go right into the Roth IRA. And it's not going to max me out, but it's going to be very close to it, which is perfectly fine for me. So that's another vehicle of investing that I'm going to be, that I automatically save. I'll get more into Roth IRA investing and all these other kinds of investing in later videos. I love this stuff. I can't wait to share this with you guys. But right now I want to stick on this topic. So this is how I'm going to be paying myself and effortlessly saving. Each month I look at my finances, I write them all down, and I still have money that I save. I pay all my bills. Me and my fiance split them for the house, the utilities, whatever, food, anything we need. We split them, and we still have money left over each month, and everyone should. I know it's tough, but everyone should live within your means. And with that money, I put it into an emergency fund if it's not already maxed out. Or I can bump up the Roth IRA even more. Or my fiance will start her own Roth IRA as well. And we'll have just multiple of them. So these are things that, especially the 401k and the Roth IRA, if you've automatically got them coming out of your paycheck, you don't even have to think about it. You just know that at 45, my Roth IRA is going to be this, and that'll keep me coasting until 59 and a half, and my 401k will take over, and I could just retire so early. And this is another thing I'm going to talk about in my later videos. So I want you guys to think about all these things I said. I know it's a lot in one video. I tried to keep a straight direction. I'd love to hear from you guys on anything else in the comments below. If you've got any questions, I will gladly answer them in more detail if you need help or assistance with anything. I know everyone's scenario is different, so please let me know below. I'd love to help you with your scenario, give you any insight that I possibly can. So again, just to recap, the credit card spending and keeping track of it, using money instead, so you really feel the pain of the money you're spending, and you'll spend less. Trust me, it works. I've tried it. Getting yourself down to one credit card if you aren't already, and then making sure that you pay off your bills every month, and then with your raise, or if not everyone gets a raise at the end of the year, just try to set aside, even if it's $10 per paycheck, something to start every paycheck. $10. Watch where it goes and put it somewhere. Put it somewhere useful. Don't put it towards a coffee or a shopping spree or whatever. You don't need it. You do not need it. I promise you. What you need is freedom, financial freedom, and that is what I want to help you achieve. Again, you will start effortlessly saving, just like I spoke about in my first video, and you just have so much off your back. You know, people are worrying all the time, like, I'm not going to retire. It just doesn't, you know, maybe my parents did, but this generation, I'm just going to be working forever. No, that's not true. The people who say that, yeah, it's probably true for them. Just like Henry Ford said, whether you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're probably right. So believe that you can, because it will happen if you continue these habits. I also want to soon post. I have an Excel sheet that I do, and everything's all filled out with like everything that I track for the month, my utilities payments, what's coming in, what I put to my investing. I want to share like a template version of that with you guys on either my channel here, or I also want to start a blog website soon. And you guys can download that, and I think that would be a great start to help, totally free, obviously. And I think that would be a huge help if any of you guys are really interested in this. Again, thank you so much for watching this video. Have a great holiday. If you're watching at the time of posting, I really appreciate it. Comment below if you've got any questions on your certain scenarios or anything that I've said. I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. And yeah, leave me a like if you like this video. So thanks again, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.